السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. لما أنا كنت في السودان أنا سألت أمي عن أبي، وهي قالت: يا ولدي يا ولدي عيسى حبيبي. أنا قلت:
Yo, my name is Benjamin Zephania, coming down your television wire, and I support Helping My People TV all the time. I support them because they support me, you see?
Hi, I'm Janet Kay, and I just want to let you know that I am supporting HMP TV, Help My People TV. One for the future.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Victor Romeo Evans, and I'd just like to tell you that I'm supporting big time HMP TV, Help My People TV, the TV that knows the time of day.
So big up to HMP TV. You guys are doing ultra work, and everywhere I go, every event, I see you guys there. So big up to HMP TV. Keep doing your thing, and in the future, I'd love to collaborate with you to put out some more inspiring, motivational content.
Hi, my name's Basil Links, owner of Pempamsi in Brixton, Eat of Eden, Vel Treatment Rooms, Right Estate Agents, and I support HMP TV. They're doing a fantastic job, and they're going to be one to watch for the future.
This is Solomon from Black Child Promotions. Big up Helping My People TV every time.
My name's Israel Emmanuel, King's Peace Treaty. Big up HMP TV Productions, Helping My People TV. Baddest in our road.
Greetings, Sister Angie here, co-founder of Sisters Empowerment Circle, and we're here today at our event where we honor, remember and value our brothers with love. The whole idea of today's event is about recognizing our brothers in the community, those that are grassroots brothers doing great works in the community but never actually get that recognition or that encouragement. For us at the Sisters Empowerment Circle, that's very important for us, as not only as for the brothers but as sisters, you know, working together regardless, working together as sisters, as women, as the mothers of civilization who bring forth life. So we want to lead by example in everything that we do. So today, our second event in the month of June, which is recognized as Father's Month. So yes, we're very honored. We had some great brothers in the house today. And, you know, Brother Zephania, Benjamin Zephania, Dr. Les Henry, you know, Brother Twilight Bay, our elder, esteemed elder Pepper Kai, who actually today said today was the first time he's been acknowledged, you know, so we are proud. We are proud. And I you know, I'm going to hand the microphone over to my sisters to also share about the importance of what we do.
And I'm honoured to be presented with this award amongst so many other amazing people and men in the building. So I think we should give them all a big round of applause. You know, it's interesting that oftentimes the public will say that we don't have any champions, we don't have any people doing good work, we don't have any people out there who are looking out for our communities and looking out for our children, but it's not true. It's just that they're not necessarily visible, and I know why they're not visible, because they're busy doing the work. right? And they're not out there looking for fame and accolades and so on and so forth, because that's not what drives them. That's not their purpose. They're not in this to be famous. They're in this to make a difference. But I think things like this are important. And so I'm very grateful for this. And the reason why my smiling daughter here, I asked her to come today, even though she just wanted to be out playing in the park. But I thought it was important because I know in years to come, she'll remember this moment, and she can share this moment with her siblings and with her community and with her peers. And for me, the reason I started Ultra Education to teach kids entrepreneurship is actually because of my daughter. So whenever you see young entrepreneurs out there, there were lots of young entrepreneurs out there doing their thing, and people will send me messages and say, is this one of yours? Because they assume it's come through Ultra, and oftentimes they are. And I guess I always want to remind people that, I didn't just wake up one morning and think it was a great idea to teach entrepreneurship to kids. It was my daughter that inspired me to do that. And that's because before I started this company and I was doing other things, when I had a home office and she was just, a toddler, she had a play area in my office. So because I was traveling a lot, so I just wanted to keep her as close as I could to me. So as I'm working, she would just be playing, and when the phone would ring, she'd know to be quiet, and so on and so forth. But there was a time when we had a little kind of family party, and I don't know if she'll remember this, she probably will. When she was maybe about 5 or 6 years old, she came out into the garden with all of her cousins who were a few years older than her, and she said, right, everybody, we've made things for you to buy, and if you don't have any money, we've made credit cards for you too. And everybody looked at me and said, why, Julian, will you teach this girl? And really, I wasn't teaching her anything, not explicitly. She was absorbing as if via osmosis these entrepreneurial traits, and that inspired me to think that you can teach children at a young age. And for any educators in the room, you will know that kids can learn up to 7 languages by the time they're 5, 6 years old. They can learn a whole bunch of musical instruments. So why not entrepreneurship? And people might think of entrepreneurship as just business, but it's not just that. It's entrepreneurial thinking. It's the mindset that goes along with it that enables that young person to build up the necessary life skills which are lacking in school, which they need to build up, just to make them more resilient against the outside world today. And so for me, entrepreneurship is more, I want them to be financially independent. I want them to be able to create their own employment if they can't do what they love in a normal traditional environment. So what I would say to everyone in here is do not underestimate children. So primary school children, usually before I started this work, entrepreneurship was only introduced to teenagers like 16 plus. But educators kept saying you need to go early with everything. So I said, well, let's go early with entrepreneurship and see what happened. And kids actually started to produce businesses. And a lot of you will have, if you go to events, you'll see our kids. They're actually selling, they're making money. And the minute you exchange money with the product that a child has created, they own that experience. That can never be taken away from them. Right. So later on in life, when they now have to go out there in the big bad world and fend for themselves, they know that the option of entrepreneurship is available to them. Not because their parent told them or their teachers told them, because kids don't really believe us if we're honest. They just think we're just saying stuff, right? But emotionally, you can't take that experience away from them. And that's the reason why we wanted to start from young. And we've had kids who are as young as 4 or 5 years old at our kids' business fairs, right? So the average age, the average demographic of our children is actually my daughter, which is an 11-year-old black child. That is 70% of our students are actually girls. And that wasn't by design, that is just what's happened. So for me, entrepreneurship is about doing what you love, and regardless of what that is. You don't have to go into something because it makes money. Everything is a business. On Nas's latest track on one album, he said that everything is a business, and he tells his kids that everything is a business, so get into business. And if you look around the room, everything is part of commerce, everything is bought from somewhere, everything is a business, right? And it's just opening up our children's mind to the fact that they can trade, they can be Basil, they can be my daughter, they can be Omari, they can be Davis, they can be any of the businesses in this room if they want to. That there is no glass ceiling in the world of entrepreneurship. It's only down to your vision, to the hard work, and the team that you put around you. But we don't have to wait until they're teenagers or they're young people. We can we can instill that message when they are young, when they are children. And to all of the mothers out there, the reason I became an entrepreneur is because of my mum. It wasn't because of my father, it was because of my mother. I saw the work ethic she had, and I saw how she managed me and my two siblings as a single mum, and we wanted for nothing. There was entrepreneurial thought and work ethic in the way that she conducted her life. And you know, she had a small business when I was 5 or 6 years old. And I remember that was quality time. She used to make the little gift bowls that would go on top of boxes, and she would have me help her, you know, do that. To her, it was free labor. To me, it was, you know, quality time with my mum. But at such an early age, I remember that. And my dad came from Jamaica. He had a body workshop, fixing cars, and that was also an influence. So don't underestimate the influence that you, parents, and especially mothers, have on their children, because it is hugely impactful. And for us to change what we need to change as a community and as a society, we need more young people getting into business. Because I don't want the next generation to have to hate Monday mornings and only live for the weekend and only live for their holiday. That's not a life. There are individuals out there who, even though it's hard, they will get up out of their bed. You know, the weekend is an interruption to their week. The weekend doesn't even matter. They're still working. They're still thinking about the thing that they're passionate about. And that's what I want to instill into young people, because I know that in 10 or 20 years' time, for us to, it's a responsibility. I feel it's a responsibility for us that if we're going to leave the planet in the hands of the next generation, that they should be more equipped than we were. So once again, thank you very much for this award. I will honour it and treasure it. Thank you. So today I've received a business and entrepreneurship honour from the Sisters Empowerment Circle, and I can't tell you how honoured I am to have received this from the sisters. It means the absolute world to me. I managed to get my daughter to come down with me and to accept the award on the stage with me today, and it's a memory that we can both share. And I wanted my daughter with me because she was the inspiration behind setting up Ultra Education and Ultrakids, and I wanted to share with the audience the importance of introducing entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial thinking to kids at a young age, because the next generation have got to do a better job of the current generation. As we know, 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs are failing, and that's probably because entrepreneurship is introduced too late. So it's my mission to ensure that every child, regardless of background or social standing, has access to essential, effective entrepreneurial education. So once again, thank you to the Sisters Empowerment Circle for honouring me with this award for business and entrepreneurship, and more power to all of you, and rise up.
Great. What a wonderful day we had today, awarding our brothers, acknowledging them for the work that have been doing continuously throughout the time that they've been working, some 10 years, some 20, some 30, and with our esteemed elder, Brother Pepper Kai, over 50 years. And I remember him particularly. That's why, I really wanted to award Brother Pepper Kai, because even when I was a young child, I remember going to one of my first African liberation days. When I was a teenager, actually, along with my brothers. He was doing that at the time. And he was there. And I think even up to this day, with his work with distributing our books for our people with real history, the true history about our people, he is still going on and on, as I said, over 50 years. But again, we also really want to thank Benjamin Zephania and his words, what he said today, and why he chose to come. Because there's so many places he could go, and he could have been, but as we know, refused the MBE, which means member of the empire. He doesn't see himself as a member of the empire, and that's why he obviously didn't take that. But he felt today that he would come. He felt that he was. It was very special to him when I asked him today. It was very special, and he actually thanked us for inviting him to come today. So, sometimes we think, oh no, maybe I shouldn't choose that person because they seem, way out there or whatever. But sometimes they want a time to come and be even more so among their people and recognize that they are so important and they are valued. So we thank, today that we could value some of our brothers, but as we go on throughout the years, that we will continue to recognize brothers who continue to do the work without the praise, but they do it because of the love for our people, and they know the work needs to be done by someone, and they've been decided that why not them? Yeah. So I hope that we can take today, those very words from those brothers is really, to practically apply what we say we're going to do, and never think ourselves so little or ourselves so insignificant that we can't make a change like they have been doing and continue to do. So thank you.
The next awardee, and I'm going to really try my best to say the name, all of it. Again, family, help me where I need help. I can start off with Dr. Benjamin Obadiah. Iqbal, did I get that right? Zephania. Was born and raised in Handsworth, Birmingham. All that time he was called, at that time he called it the Jamaican capital of Europe, due to the large Jamaican community there. His first real public performance was at 11 years old, and by the age of 15, he had attracted a strong following in Handsworth, and had gained a reputation as a young poet who was capable of speaking on local and international issues. His poetry was strongly influenced by the music and poetry of Jamaica and what he called street politics. At 22, he headed south to London, where his first book, Pen Rhythm, was published. The book sold well, but it was in performance that the dub reggae poet would cause such a revolution. It was once said of him that he was the most filmed, most photographed, and most identifiable poet in Britain. His live performances on stage, and most of all on television, brought dub poetry straight into British living rooms. He then began to take his poetry worldwide, and over a 22-day period in 1991, he performed on every continent on the planet. Wow. He is also a musician and was the first person to record with the Wailers after the death of Bob Marley. Rest in peace. His latest album, Naked, defies categorization. It is produced by legendary drummer Trevor Moraes, and adorned with the artwork of graffiti artist Banksy in a 36-page booklet which accompanies the CD. In 1996, he hosted the President's Two Nations concerts for Nelson Mandela at the Royal Albert Hall in London, at the request of Nelson Mandela. Benjamin's first book of children poetry, called Talking Turkeys, went to the top of the children book list straight from its publication. Young writers have said that the accessibility of his work inspired many of them to take up writing, and he has inspired a new generation of rappers and many of the performance poets that emerged in the late 70s, early 80s. And now his novels for teenagers have proved as influential as his poetry. As well as writing poetry, novels, screenplays, and stage plays, he has also written and presented documentaries for television and radio. He has been awarded 13 honorary doctorates in recognition of his work, and a wing at the Ealing Hospital in West London has been named after him. As passionate about politics and poetry as he has ever been, Benjamin now lives in Lincolnshire. Please, let's rise up our brother. I'm really honoured to have him in the house. Please come forward. Thank you. Please, my brother.
I'm going to try and be as quick as I can. I do need to correct a few things. I think whoever wrote that earlier is a little bit out of date. My last album actually was called Revolutionary Mind, which was released not so long ago. And I think you said I got 13 honorary doctorates. Well, I now have 16. And 2 professorships. My mother still loves me. But I haven't really organised a speech or anything like that. I just want to say that when I've listened to so many people today, it's been so inspiring, and almost everybody has said something that's touched me. The young boy, Amari, who talked about vegan, I don't know, how old was he? 11. I went vegetarian when I was 11 and vegan when I was 13. And this is like the 60s or something. My mother thought I was going mad. She thought it was a phase I was going to go through. And I've kept that stance for, I didn't even know the word vegan or vegetarian. I tell you, the first time I heard the word vegan, I thought it was crazy. A guy was offering me his ice cream. And I said, no, I don't have animal products. And I jumped on him and I started to fight him because I never heard the word vegan. This guy said, oh, he's a vegan. And I thought, why are you calling me names? All I knew was that I really loved animals. And what people like Amari are doing is he's seeing, from his point of view, health. And I know there are people in here, lots of people who are not vegans or vegetarians. But the world is seeing now that if we want to go forward and really protect the planet, it's not just personal, it's political, it's environmental. And to see someone like that young boy just feeling it from his heart, when he was talking, I just so much connected with it. When you had the moment of silence, this is going to be a little bit negative. When you had the moment of silence, I found it quite difficult because just a couple of weeks ago, I had to bury a 14-year-old. And this is because of bad guidance. This is because, his father said he was going to go away and leave him and go somewhere and hook up with a 20-year-old girl he met online. And the boy was so depressed, he went to a party and somebody gave him an ecstasy tablet and he just collapsed and died. So when I hear people talking about, parents guiding your children, it's so important. We had to bury a 14-year-old boy who just took a tablet on the day he was depressed because another friend said, "Oh, take this and you'll feel better." Our struggle works on so many levels, and there's so many things that people here have said about entrepreneurship. When I was growing up, we hated business. Business was Babylon. Business was robbing us. But then you realize that we can do this for ourselves. It's not just about making money, it's about working in the community. Very quickly, I want to say that when I started writing poetry, I heard some poetry and I just thought, yeah, this is all right, but I can put this to reggae. And I remember the BBC. Some people here are so young, You probably won't remember a time when the BBC used to put you to bed and say good night. Go to bed, right? And there was a time when they used to read a poem sometimes, right? And I sent in a poem, which was just a load of doggerel. I just sent it to the BBC and I faked my name. I said, my name is Wilbur Smith. And I said I lived in Evesham. Evesham is a really posh part of Birmingham on the outskirts, I didn't want to know that it was a black guy from Handsworth, And I wrote a poem which was a load of rubbish. It just said, wonder, wonder why I live, my heart and soul to life I give, upon the wetted grass I lie, if death should call me, if I should die. In vain I stride for need and require, no smoke can dark my burning fire, cool breeze I desire, strong winds to take me higher, higher than the fire. And it just went on and on like that. You know? It never said anything, right? But they read it on the BBC and they said, oh, what a wonderful traditional English gent. He's really capturing the emotion of the white man and the English heart and soul of our country. And we were sitting at home, we were sounding like Victor Romeo Evans, and going, So I knew that I had a way with words, with poetry, you see. But we wouldn't call it poetry. A lot of the early poets, we call ourselves dub poets, performance poets, rap poets, whatever. Why? Because the word poet meant a dead white man, you know, and we weren't that. And so I started to write about the situations that we were living in, the things we were experiencing. It's hard for a lot of young people to understand what it was like in the 70s to walk down a road in Handsworth. And I know this happened in Brixton and Tottenham and places, and for the police just to come out the car and beat you, and just get back in the car and drive off. It's hard for them to understand what it was like to come out of clubs and have the National Front in gangs hunting you down. And sometimes you have to run home. You couldn't just leave a blues, you have to work out who's going with who and make sure everybody gets home safely and all those things. It's hard for them to imagine those things because they think, to a certain extent, some people think that it's been like this all the time. It's hard for them to imagine there were no-go areas in the East End of London or parts of Birmingham and Manchester. Whatever we've been doing, whether it be through business, through our work in poetry, through the work of the sisters here, are pioneering. And sometimes it gets hard, and we may not appreciate the work that we're doing, and sometimes it won't really be appreciated until a long time after it's done. But there'll be another generation of people here talking about their ancestors, and their ancestors will be me and you. You know? We will be their ancestors. I got up this morning at 8 o'clock, left my place in Lincolnshire, drove down here 4 hours to come and get this award. There is a radio crew here who said they wanted to talk to me about why did I turn down the OBE. I said, come here. Come here. This is what we shall be doing in our community, what we should be doing.
That's right.
Yes. Acknowledging our worth in whatever way possible, bigging ourselves up. It has nothing to do with government. It has nothing to do with the state. It has nothing to do with the official church. It has to do with what we do in our community for ourselves.
That's right.
This is where the revolution starts.
That's right.
I was in a meeting the other day at Leicester University with Dorian Lawrence, and I said, I am a revolutionary. And Jack Straw, the old MP, said, yes, but when I remember all the revolutionaries, and they are all old men now sitting at home watching Crossroads or whatever it's called, right? And I said, yeah, because your revolution was inspired by people from Russia and Eastern Europe, and that's fine. You know, it's not working for us.
That's right.
Our revolution will be inspired by Martin, Malcolm, Marley, Maya Angelou, Yashantwa. You know, these are the people. And our revolution is not about whether we have a state that is Islam or Christian or Rasta or whatever. It's about serving our community. That's what makes us revolutionary. And that's why it's a real honor for me to say, Benjamin Zephania, no BE. Benjamin Zephania, Sisters of Empowerment Circle. I love that. Increase the peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My name is Benjamin Zephania. I'm a poet, writer, musician, playwright. My mother calls me a naughty boy, but I'm really trying to behave myself. And I'm here today because I've received this award from the Sisters Empowerment Circle. And I have to say it's a real honor. I tend to be making a name for myself recently because I keep rejecting awards. But the thing is, I don't really deal with awards from the state and from what we Rastas call the Babylon. I like when I see people working at the grassroots who can honor brothers and sisters. This is really important, to have acknowledgement from our peers. So that's why I've taken the time to come out today. I came here quite early and I'm one of the last people to leave, and that's how much I like it. Today I've heard people say, Assalamu alaikum, shalom, Rastafari, greetings. There's been people here from all kinds of backgrounds, but we are one people, and this is really inspiring. And, you know, at a time when people are looking in the black community and they're saying, you know, what are you doing? You know, are you kind of killing yourselves, stabbing yourselves, shooting yourselves? We want to show actually that there's a lot of positive things happening in our community, and we understand that if we don't help ourselves, no one is going to help us. If we don't liberate ourselves, no one is going to.
Yeah. We chose you for a reason.
I chose you for a reason.
Okay. Next. Okay. Oh, just a moment. This is so awesome. Rise up to our brothers. Renowned international singing artist and actor. Victor was born in the beautiful island of St. Lucia, home of the Pitons in the eastern coastal village of Miku.
Yeah.
Victor left the island at the age of 9 to join his parents in London, England. Victor began his career in the 1970s and has worked extensively on stage, screen, radio, and as a recording artist. Victor has had notable success in the British reggae charts, scoring #1 hits with the anthemic Lovers Rock hit At the Club. And also, sorry, I'm not apologising, I couldn't help it.
Having flashbacks.
And it's beautiful. And also, I Need a Girl Tonight. And Miss Attractive. Oh. Which led to Victor being signed to Epic Records back in 1983. Victor was a founder member of the Black Theatre Cooperative and appeared in many of the company's productions, including Welcome Home, Jacko, Mama Dragon, One Rule, Trinity, Tooth of Crime, Redemption Song, and 65 with a Bullet. In 2006, Victor appeared in The Big Life, which transferred from the Theatre Royal Stratford East to the West End, the first black British musical to do so. Other stage credits include Sugar Mummies, Royal Court Theatre, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl, directed by Paulette Randall, I went to school with her, Nottingham Playhouse, Ragamuffin, created and directed by Amani Natali Abyssinia, directed by Femi Ilufowaju Jr. and the role of Patsita in Talawa Theatre Company, One Love, Lyric Theatre, Hammersmith. On television, Victor has appeared in a couple of times in Doctors playing the role of Clifford Webster and also a preacher. Other television credits include Holby City, Black History, Magic Grandad, Alistair McCowan's Big Impression, Judge John Deed, and Storm Damage. He's well known for his role in the black sitcom No Problem, LWT. And other television work includes Holding On, Get Up, Stand Up, and Black First, BBC, Relative Strangers, Channel 4, Black on Black, and The Gentle Touch, LWT. Victor is also a founder member of the acting troupe, The Posse, formed in the early 1990s, who over a short time built a massive fan base with their hilarious sketch shows. They toured nationally as well as doing a television special entitled Armed and Dangerous, along with their hugely successful canto entitled, is that Pinchy Cobby, and the Seven Duppies. In 1999-2000, Victor featured in a series of Jap UK version of a Mars bar commercials in Scandinavia. Victor was presented with an award in Hungary for the funniest commercial for 2000. Victor's film credits include starring in the award-winning Burning an Illusion, also Class of Miss McMichael with Glenda Jackson and Oliver Reed, Runners, Babylon, the book Liberators, Carnival, and Marked by Death with Steven Seagal, and most recently, Late One Night as the conscience of Ray Winston. In 2008, Victor portrayed the preacher in the musical The Harder They Come, which transferred from the Barbican to the Playhouse in the West End. Victor also toured the UK, Toronto, Miami with The Harder They Come. Victor has recently performed alongside Carol Thompson and Janet Kay in their own show, Lovers Rock Monologues. I went to see that. The dancing, which was penned by Victor. This critically acclaimed show celebrates the golden years of Lovers Rock, the 70s and 80s, when many of us, particularly second-generation Afro-Caribbeans, were in their youth going into adulthood. The show delightfully marries storytelling and music to give the audience a theoretically musical Lovers Rock experience. Victor, accompanied by Sister Rise Up Janet Kay, present and host their annual shows, Songs and Laughter, with my mother / father respectively, as Mother's Day and Father's Day at the Millfield Theatre in North London. Victor, our dear brother, please join me here for us to honour you. Please.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. Beautiful, thank you. Greetings, brothers and sisters, on this most beautiful day. Thank you for this award, for the honor. Yes, I have many people to thank for going into acting, especially my peers, the people who went before me in that field. Notable people such as Oscar James. I don't know if many of you know Oscar James, but he's appeared in EastEnders. Oscar James, Norman Beaton, who was my school teacher. I was very fortunate to have a beautiful drama teacher in my secondary school. And what he did was he realized that the majority of the school was black. So he made it a point to take us to go and see black plays. This is a white teacher. And he took us to the Royal Court in 1975. I was 15 to see Norman Beaton in a play called Rum and Coca-Cola. And after seeing that play, I said to myself, I'm going to be an actor. Now, let me rewind to when I first came to this country as a 9-year-old, arriving at Heathrow Airport in January. In a little t-shirt, in a little short sleeve shirt, and my dad picking me up with a long coat, because I was very short, and the coat dragged on the floor. My dad laughed. Seeing me, I was so small, and the coat was so overpowering me. And coming to this country, I first got my first taste of the acting life when I was about 10, 11, when they asked people to do things in assembly. And I don't know what possessed me, but I sang a Cliff Richard song called Living Doll. Got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living doll. Gotta do my best to please her just 'cause she's a living doll. Got a certain her, that is why she satisfies my soul. I got a one and only walking, talking, living doll. So now, I got really popular. Like Benjamin, in primary school, and that's when I got my first taste of people enjoying what I did. And consequently after that, when I was about 14, a member of the family asked my parents if I could join a St. Lucian theatre group called the Urinora Strolling Players. So I joined the group, and they put me as a star in Brer and Nancy. I played Brer and Nancy, and you know, I had all these young girls chasing me, and for the first time in my life. So I said, I said, yeah, I want to get into this acting thing. Now, after one of the shows that we did, I met this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young girl. Her name was Bronte Longville, and she went to Anna Shear's Children's Theatre, which was one of the biggest children's theatres at the time in Islington. And she told me that she went there, and that she would like to take me there. She wants to bring me there. So I said, well, if you're there, I want to be there. Because, you know, she was lovely. And I went to Anna Shear Children's Theatre, and it was there that I met young fellow actors, and I really got the bug to be an actor. And I was getting a lot of praise at Anna Shear's, you know, Victor, you're this, you're that, and blah, 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 and you're so... But nothing was going on. You know, all I was getting was, as Dennis Brown, you know, famously said, praise without raise. So 3 of us decided to write a play and put it on, and find somewhere to put it on, and invite all casting directors, whoever we felt could get us somewhere to come and see the play. Anyway, we wrote the play, and cut a long story short, Charlie Hanson came to see it. He cast me straight into, I didn't have no audition. He cast me straight into a play, a professional play, and after that play, we formed a theatre company called the Black Theatre Cooperative, because what we achieved with that theatre company was getting young black people for the first time going to the theatre as a matter of course, because prior to that, they didn't have they had Keskadi in Caledonian Road. They had a black theatre there, but it wasn't as big as how we were. Somebody's phone is ringing. Yeah, anyway, so it was from there that we put on the play, and I got cast straight into a play called Welcome Home Jacko, and from there I became a professional actor. Now, what was important for me in that time, as many people has aired here, is the fact that we didn't have obstacles in our minds when we were in the 70s. I didn't think going into the acting profession, because you hear people saying, Victor, acting is so hard, man. If you go into acting, the majority of the time you're going to be out of work, because 90% of actors are out of work. So it's only 10% of actors are working at any one time. You know what I mean? So it was a dodgy profession to go into, but when you're young, you don't think of them things there. You just think, I want to do it, so I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be successful. You don't think I'm not going to be successful, which is what was great about hearing people speak up here today, is the fact that when they wanted to do something, they did it. You know, they didn't see any obstacles in their mind. It was because the only obstacle is your mind. Yeah, the only obstacle is your mind. So when people tell me, Victor, was it hard for you? And was it da-da-da? I think, well, not really, because I wanted something, and I did, and whatever move I made, I got through. You know what I mean? And there was somebody there to move you along the way. And I was fortunate enough as well to have many people to encourage, which is another point that many people, touched upon. The fact that people enjoyed what you did and they encouraged you to do it. I had the wonderful people who went before me, as I was saying, the actors, Norman Beaton, Oscar James, T-Bone Wilson. These elders encouraged us young actors, to go forth and conquer. Even though now you don't even see, the only person you see on TV out of that lot is Rudolph. You don't even know that there's loads, there's a posse of elder actors who are out there, but they're not getting work. So again, it's up to us to create a platform where you can see these people. And this is getting this award. I feel like Basil said, like I haven't even started yet. Yeah, I haven't started yet. And being on a vegan diet. Are you on a vegan diet, Basil? More or less.
I'm vegetarian.
You're vegetarian? 28 years? Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm on a vegan diet. And, we weren't taught the value of loving our bodies and loving our organs. I was talking to somebody yesterday saying I've had a conversation with my feet, because I didn't look after my feet very well. My feet was one part of me that I felt I neglected somewhat. And I've spoken to my feet. I've spoken to my feet, and I am going to look after my feet. I've made a pact with my feet to look after my feet, to scrub my feet every day. And again, picking up on something that was said here, what Julian said about, we have to practice things.
Yes, that's the one.
Things have got to be practiced. You don't wake up automatically. Bruce Lee didn't wake up and became Bruce Lee, the Bruce Lee that we see on screen. He didn't wake up and could do press-ups on 2 fingers, just so. He had to practice and get these 2 fingers hard as nails before he could attempt to do that. So we have to practice, as we're saying, being loving to one another. It's a practice. It don't just come so. It's a practice. As a child in St. Lucia, it's a practice. I had to say good morning, good afternoon to every adult that I met, or else they'd be reporting to my grandmother. And I'd get licks if I didn't say. So that practice became, it was part of me. I didn't miss any adult. Good morning, good afternoon. So everybody, I never used to get licks at all for not saying good morning or good afternoon to I became well versed in saying good morning, good afternoon, manners, in having manners. So I would say to anybody here, practice, 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 practice. That's why I've been able to do what I've done, is because I practice. And without you as Dr. Les said, there'd be no me, because the portrayals that I do on stage is my people, is my aunties, my uncles, my dad, my mum, you know, it's them people there that's inspired me to do the things that I do. So I'd like to thank you once again. I know I can rabbit on a bit, but thank you. I really appreciate this, and I'd like to thank my ancestors, you know, on whose shoulders we stand, because we don't honor them enough, because there's many ancestors that we don't know their names, who without them we wouldn't be here, you know what I mean, and for all the things they endured. So I'd like to thank my ancestors, and thank you, my sisters, and it's an honor getting it from sisters as well. So thank you very much, sisters. I hope you remain empowered as you are. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I'd just like to say I am very honored. I'm very appreciative of this award given to me by the Sisters of Empowerment Circle. I accept this honor on behalf of those who have come before me as well. As I was mentioned earlier, Norman Beatons, the Oscar Jameses, the T-Bone Wilsons, the Rudolph Walkers, you know, who set the path for us, and who've encouraged us as well to do the things that we want to do dramatically and in the arts. I'd like to thank them. This is for them, all our ancestors. This is for them as well. So my mum, my dad, each one of them. So I'd like to give thanks for that. Yes, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, thank you.
You're welcome.
And yes, I'd like to pick up all Benjamin. Not many people know, but I did a play that Benjamin wrote. Was it 19? What was it? It was a first play of the type. The whole play was written in poetry, and the play was called Job Rocking. Now, what many people don't know is that Benjamin prophesied in that play. He prophesied that the world would be taken over by computers. Wow. In that play, it was called Job Rocking. It was about computers taking over the workplace. Now, this was done about 1980 something, Benj. We did early 90s or late 80s.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yes, no, seriously. It was before computers really took over. And if anybody reads that play, find that play, read that play, and he prophesied that computers would take over the place. Big up, Benjamin.
Thank you. Right. Sister, you ready? Yes. You ready? Ah, sister's ready. Let's put our hands together. In fact, I want to know if you stand up. Stand up and get little shake up, little bit. Come. I know you're going to be rocking, so stand up, and those that are able to, stand up and shake out yourself and get ready, yeah, to rock. Let's welcome our dear.
I really have to big up my wife, because she's been there for me, for 30 years, 31 years. What? Is it that long? Yeah. For 31 years, So I'd like to big you up, babe. Thank you very much. You know what I mean, for the love. You know what I mean? Yeah, now she's gonna sing for me. You know what I mean?
I am indeed.
Yeah, you are, babe. Well, thank you.
I was hoping you'd have talked a bit longer, Vic, because the iPad still hasn't fired up yet. But, Victor and I have been together for 31 years, and it's been a wonderful 31 years. He's my best friend. We have our differences just like any other couple. It's always a work in progress.
I'm not a vegan.
Yeah, I'm not a vegan, but he's still working on me. I can be a vegan some days of the week, do you know what I mean? You have to start small. Thank you, Victor, for the 31 years. So this song I'm going to sing for you now, this is dedicated to Victor. And I just want to say as well, when we walked in earlier, and those beautiful drums are playing. I want to thank you so much. Thank you. That was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And to all the other people that have received an award this evening, congratulations to you, and thank you for your wonderful works. Continue with the good works. Okay, so this one is for Vic. Sweet As usual. Okay, I'm going to sing one more song.